Hi guys, welcome to Chris Ryan Golf. You join me here at the Belfry once again. We're at the PGA National Golf Academy and we're going to do a video today looking at the hips, and we're looking at how you should clear the hips into impact to give you better shots on the golf course. So before we dive into the sort of explanation of what we're going to do, let's just talk about what we mean by clearing the hips. It's a sort of term that we hear spoken about quite a bit. People are talking about clearing the hips and getting the hips out the way. But what does it actually mean? Well, if I were to take my normal starting position to this golf ball, okay, I'm just going to look at the midsection here, so my hips. What we're talking about is having, at the point of contact, the hips rotated towards the target by some amount. That's what we would tend to see from good golfers with the swings that we'd like to emulate. So they start with their hips in a certain position, but as they come back to make contact with the golf ball, their hips are rotated towards the target. How much rotation you have is very much going to depend on quite a few things: your physical limitations, the style of swing that you've got, all these kind of things really. What we do tend to see, however, is that many golfers don't get maybe enough rotation at impact as we'd like them to do, and we're going to go through a couple of things that you might want to look at and address when trying to do this. If we just do that again and go and have a little bit of a look at what else is happening, when I do have this rotation towards the target, you'll notice that my lead leg is beginning to straighten. So certainly at the point of contact, I would like to see the lead leg significantly straighter than it was at setup. And I would term this in the process of straightening. In my golf swing, for example, when I go through post-impact, my left leg is pretty straight. There are golfers out there playing on the world tours who maintain some flex in their lead knee all the way through to finish. So we're not sort of set on the idea the leg has to straighten. However, I would like to see that left leg, or that lead leg I should say, a little bit straighter at impact than it was at setup. That's going to help facilitate this movement through with the hips. So we're doing the video today because it's really important that we understand what should happen, because if I go and do this right for a start. When golfers try and clear the hips, well, what they'll often do is they'll often get this kind of lodged in their brain that I need to rotate my hips. They'll make a backswing, and as soon as they've made a backswing, they start to focus on these hips and they start to rotate them as quickly and as aggressively as they can. What we would often find is at the point of contact, we have got significantly more rotation in the hips. So they get a tick for that, they've got what they need here. But it hasn't caused a good sequence of events on the way down. What we'd often see is that there isn't enough shift forward of the weight. And if we can look from down the line, we'd often see that from the top, as we start to spin those hips, we start to get the club and the hands moving more outwards, and from there we generally get a club path which is to the left of target, and it doesn't really give us the shots that we want. So yes, we want to try and get a little bit more clearance at impact, a little bit more rotation, but we need to make sure the sequence is correct. So this is what I want you to try and feel. I want you to make, and we're going to do what we call some little pump drills, where we basically make a backswing, and we're going to start by shifting the weight, or the pressure I should say, into my lead side here. So I'm feeling a little bit more of a lateral movement. As I'm doing that, notice that my arms are starting to move a little bit more downwards towards my right thigh and right knee. Once I've done a couple of these little pump drills, I can go ahead and feel like I rotate my hips as aggressive as I want. That's okay. What we don't want is golfers to get to the top and suddenly start to spin these hips out here, leave the weight on the back leg, get that club swiping across the golf ball, hitting big pulls left or big weak cuts with the longer stuff. So let me go ahead and do that drill for you. I'm going to take a starting position, backswing and stop. I'm going to do a couple of pump drills. Okay, and then after about 3 or 4, I'm going to go ahead and open the hips up. Okay, that felt pretty good. It wasn't the perfect strike, but doing drills like that, you're not necessarily going to get the best strike in the world. It's just trying to understand and sort of get an idea of what's happening. The key thing here is the sequence of events. We want, from the top, we want a little bit of lateral, we want a bit of a pressure change before we start to aggressively open those hips up. So you're going to do that again. Notice my lead leg as I'm doing that. It's beginning to lose flex. Not this part here, but from here, as I rotate, it's going to start to lose some flex. That's absolutely fine. Allow that to happen. Okay, so I'm going to do that again. So up, do a couple of little pump drills, and then I'm going to go ahead and go through. Okay, so what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to turn the hips through aggressively. It's going to allow you to try and put some more speed in the hips, but we're keeping the sequence of events correct. And that's what we're trying to do here. As I say back a moment ago, when we try and get golfers to do this, it's sort of lodged in their head that they've got to open their hips. It's almost the first thing they do to start down, and that really throws a sequence of events out, and we get the arms moving outwards and all that kind of stuff. So let me go ahead and just hit one as normal, and hopefully you'll see the different position that my hips are in at setup versus impact. Okay, pretty good shot. And again, you can see I tend to finish on my left leg very, very straight. So let me just hit one more for you. Okay, so just going to go ahead, shift the pressure, open the hips. Okay, pretty good swing again. So if we can start to get an impact where we have a little bit more rotation with the hips towards the target, it's going to help you do a couple of things. It's going to help you get the hands and the arms into a slightly better position as we make contact with the golf ball. It's going to encourage you to move your weight towards the target, and it's going to give you a little bit more room post-impact, which is going to hopefully allow you to get some better extension through the golf ball. Those golfers who struggle to get the hips open or clear, as they term it, will often find that they get this kind of buckling look to their follow through, where they often feel that the elbow is getting quite close to the body and the grip certainly isn't as extended as we'd like. So if we can start to get some better clearance, it was going to help us achieve some better sort of looks in our golf swing and hopefully hit some better shots. But as I say, it's making sure we keep the sequencing good and we don't start to improve one area and maybe lose something like the club path or the weight distribution. So give that a go. Definitely work on clearing those hips a little bit more, but make sure you do it in that fashion. A couple of little pump drills, a couple of rehearsals, then go ahead and open the hips up, and hopefully you'll see some better impact positions and some better shots as a result. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Click the like button down below if you liked it. If you've got any comments, then you can post those in the boxes down below as well. I'll do my best to respond to as many as I can. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done already. There's a subscription button down there as well. It'll just mean you'll get first access to my videos. So, as I say, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.